Good morning. As co-chair of the 2019 American Evolution Commemoration, it is my honor to welcome you to this important ceremony today. Let me begin by thanking the co-chairs of our first African American to English North American Committee, Cassandra Newby Alexander, and she will stand, she's right here. And Jackie Stone, who's right back here, I certainly want to thank Jackie. And the entire committee for their leadership and guidance in advising the programs and activities of this 2019 Commemoration American Evolution event. And one other introduction, the General Assembly, who I think has done a yeoman's job helping with this commemoration. We have a ton of members here, so I'm going to ask all the members that are here, both in the Senate and the House and the General Assembly, to please stand. A few weeks ago, we commemorated the 400th anniversary of the New World's first representative assembly. It was a moment worthy of remembrance, not only for what began then, but for how far we have come in the 400 years since then. Certainly, the same is true of this anniversary, for we commemorate 4 centuries of African American contributions that have enriched our Commonwealth and country and shaped the America that we know today. Yet we also know the unspeakable tragedy and awful injustice that marked that beginning. As I said at Jamestown last month, the year 1619 saw the beginning of not only the highs of America, but also the lows of America. And we are here today to acknowledge the lowest of our lows, the forced arrival of Africans to English North America right here on these very shores, which tragically was the genesis, the shameful evil that became systematic enslavement based on race. This occasion will challenge us to seek a deeper understanding of not only our history, but also our future. The history is all too real. From these shores, the slave auction blocks of Richmond, the tobacco fields of Southside, the original sin of slavery left a permanent stain on our Commonwealth. From the 29 enslaved people who came ashore at Point Comfort, Virginia's enslaved population of Virginia would reach, sadly, 500,000 by 1860, the highest of any state in the Union. From these shores to slave auction blocks in port cities up and down our coast, to the plantations of the South, the original sin of slavery left an indelible scar on our nation. From the 29 enslaved people who came ashore here, the enslaved population of the United States reached 3,953,761 by 1860. As strong as the chains of slavery were, they were no match for the justice of our God, no match for the perseverance, fortitude, and faith of the enslaved community, no match for the righteous resolve of those who struggled and sacrificed to abolish this evil institution. As strong as the chains of slavery were, they were no match for the human spirit, no match for the founding ideals of freedom and equality, no match for the conscience that cried out demanding the promise of a more perfect union applied to all Americans, not just some Americans. Over these 4 centuries, African Americans have overcome the legacy of those chains to leave indelible and positive marks on our Commonwealth and our nation. And so today we celebrate those contributions, especially the achievements of so many outstanding Virginians who shaped the America we know today. Men and women of achievement in industries as diverse as our nation's, role models for all Americans like Booker T. Washington and Aggie Walker, Dred Scott and Mary Elizabeth Bowser, Oliver Hill and Spotswood Robinson, Doug Wilder and Henry Marsh, Henrietta Lacks and Mary Jackson, Barbara Johns, Arthur Ashe. And so many more of the stories we recall this weekend. Each of these people has a story of great achievement, of overcoming adversity, of blazing trails and opening doors for others. And their individual stories are part of this epic story that brings us here today. A story that began in tragedy on the shores at Point Comfort and saw a nation and a people through Civil War and Reconstruction, through Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement, to where we are today and what we hope to become tomorrow. As we gather here now, the future is in our hands. What will we do to shape and mold the future of Virginia? Today, we will hear perspectives, viewpoints, histories, and more that are part of a much-needed dialogue One American Evolution has worked diligently to foster throughout this year-long commemoration. Hopefully that dialogue will allow us to go from contradiction to reconciliation, from sinful past to a brighter future, and a more perfect Commonwealth as part of a more perfect union. We know that our history does not always live up to our ideals, but we also know that our future can, and with God's help and our work together, it will. Thank you.